Guys, we're back. And we have the Mythic Hero trailer here, so let's go ahead and check it out. So it's pretty obviously a Mythic Hero trailer, and that's because Insys themselves tweeted out the post showing that we're getting 2 new arena heroes for bonuses next season. So the only reason that would happen is if we're getting double mythics, and we're starting off with Hoder over here. So yeah, I'm under the assumption the next one's going to be Baldr. So Hoder is going to be a anima type hero, giving the res blessing, and she also unlocks the special slot, or the reinforcement slot rather. So it should be interesting. I do like Hoder more than Baldr, actually. I think I'm in the minority with that, but I don't know, something about Hoder is just more appealing to me than Baldr. Okay, so Hoder is going to be a blue tome archer, and she's a flying type unit. Okay. Alright, so what does our girl Hoder have for us here? Alright, they're showing her off as a defensive hero, which is good. So, Dusk Rifle, 14 might, 2 range, and effective against flying. -1 special trigger. At start of player phase or enemy phase, grants the following effects to unit and allies in 2 spaces a unit for 1 turn. Res up 6, bonus doubler, and reduce percentage of foes' non-special DR by half. Alright, nothing too crazy there. After start of turn, effects trigger on the enemy phase for unit and allies in 2 spaces a unit. Converts penalties into bonuses and neutralize 2 penalty effects. Does not apply to penalties that are not, or penalty effects that are applied at the same time. And neutralizes the first applicable penalty effects on the unit's list of active effects. So that's actually really good considering she's a defensive mythic hero. Now, she's obviously not going to be as foolproof as King Freyr, who just neutralizes all penalties. But still, this is like having a free defensive attuned Micaiah, pretty much. And attuned Micaiah is pretty good. So, I mean, more options for penalty cleansing is obviously very good. Okay, then also, if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants a bonus to all stats equal to the number of allies in 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit times 3 plus 5 with a max of 14. Deals damage equal to 20% of unit's res. And unit makes a guaranteed follow-up and grants -1 cooldown to unit before first attack. Then we got Ice Wall once again. Ice Wall has been on a lot of units since its release, actually. Alright, then we have Attack and Res Mastery. So it should be the same as Attack and Speed Mastery, except we're doing Attack and Res here. Attack and Defense Discord. So another split Discord skill, except it might have been better if she had Attack and Defense Havoc instead. But this is a new variation of a Discord skill that we haven't had yet, so I guess that's why they decided to give her this. And then we have here Truth Keeper as her unique C skill. If defending in Aether Raids during Anima or Chaos Season, after combat for unit or allies on the map, destroys the foe's safety fence O structure. What? Hello. Triggers even if unit or ally is defeated in combat. Wow. I just literally made a defense. We're going to show it off tomorrow, I guess, the defense that I made, but we'd benefit a hell of a lot from having Hoder on the team if she can do this. Okay, then for allies in 3 rows of 3 columns center on unit, grants attack and res up 5 and reduce damage from foes' first attack by 7 during combat. First attack includes their brave attack and recovers 7 HP to ally after combat. And then if there is an ally in 3 rows of 3 columns center on unit, grants attack and res up 5 to unit. Unit deals plus X times 5 damage with a max of 15. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 7, excluding on AoEs. And then grants special cooldown count -X to unit before a unit's first attack during combat with a max of 2. And then X is the number of allies in 3 rows of 3 columns center on unit. And then another recovers 7 HP after combat. Wow, she gets that twice. Okay. Kind of weird that they would double up on that, but okay. Yeah, so breaking the enemy's safety fence after combat for unit and or allies on the map. So basically, the enemies are going to be able to use the safety fence, and then if they choose to snipe one of your units and then hide, after that, the fence is going to get destroyed. So this is really good. Not only does she do this, she breaks the fence, but then she also is a attuned Micaiah for penalty cleansing. So she can possibly get rid of undefended from maybe not from a unit like Alm, or Elm rather, but from a unit like, say, Bride Emblem, who would do that effect after or at the start of turn. So here we have Hoder ending combat, and then she just automatically breaks the safety fence. I'm not sure if it's her specifically who needs to be in combat. I think it's just anybody. Let's just go back to her C skill real quick. Yeah, if defending an AR during Anima or Chaos. So you can't run her in Light Season and Dark Season, unfortunately. That would have been funny because she actually would be valuable in there if you could. So after combat for unit or ally, so anybody, doesn't matter who it is. After combat, they just lose their fence. And it doesn't matter if Hoder herself is defeated in combat either. So that's just infinitely useful. I'm glad they addressed that because the safety fence was just way too OP. I think it was fine if they left it at 1 turn, but they had the bright idea to level it up to level 2. Like 2 turns of safety fence is just way too much. So yeah, just break that shit. Get it out of here. Alright, seems interesting. And then of course, Baldr. Who else would be accompanying Hoder here? Alright, so chat, actually let me know which one of the two is your favorite. Are you Team Baldr or Team Hoder? Which one of these two is your favorite? Like I said earlier, I gotta go with Hoder, but I mean, clearly Baldr is the more popular because she ended up winning CYL. So a Darkness hero granting the Speed Blessing. Both of them are defense mythics. That's cool. Yeah, defense needs as many buffs as it can get. And she also grants the reinforcement slot, and she's going to be a sword flying type. Alright, so what do you got for us, Baldr? By the way, we're like 2 or 3 weeks away from her getting her Brave Vault too. Alright, so they're showing her tanking Lyn pretty easily. Sun Sword, 16 might, 1 range, -1 special trigger, neutralize effective against flying. After start of turn effects trigger on the enemy phase, converts bonuses on the closest foes and foes in 2 spaces of those foes into penalties. Does not convert bonuses applied at the same time. Interesting. I mean, that's a very cheeky way to mess with Duo Marth, right? Because Duo Marth relies on his allies having bonuses. And he does have neutralize panic as a bonus, but this is not panic. This is just literally flip their bonuses into penalties. So Marth is actually in a lot of trouble against this. Okay, then also if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants a bonus to all stats equal to the number of foes in 3 rows of 3 columns, center on unit times 3 plus 5 with a max of 14. Grants special cooldown charge +1 per attack. Deals damage equal to 20% of speed. And reduce damage from foes' attacks by X during combat. If the foe is red, green, or colorless, X is 50% of unit speed. Otherwise, X is 20. So basically, against blue-type opponents, she has less DR. 50% of her speed as DR is actually a lot. Wow. And then also, when foes attack, triggers foe special, reduce damage from foes' attacks by an additional X. Wow, so she has that twice if they're proccing specials. And then if unit initiates combat, applies Divine Vein Flame on 5 spaces in a line centered on the foe's space and on the 5 spaces behind those spaces. So she has double rows of flame tiles too? What the hell? Yeah, obviously that's good. Celestial Form, so she has a unique special here. 3 hits for the cooldown. Boost damage by X% of unit speed when special triggers. If any space within 2 spaces of unit or foe has a Divine Vein effect applied. If defensive terrain or counts as difficult or impassable terrain for units other than flying. X is 60, otherwise it's 40. That's actually pretty easy to get the 60. Because it's not just terrain like Divine Vein terrain. It's defensive terrain and impassable terrain like mountains or trees or trenches or whatever. So that's not a very difficult condition to reach. And then also, if unit or foe special is ready, or unit or foe special triggered before or during this combat, and also if unit speed is better than the foe's speed -4, or any space within 2 spaces of unit or foe has a Divine Vein effect applied. If defensive terrain or counts as difficult or impassable terrain for units other than flying. Reduce damage from foes' next attack by 40% once per combat. Okay. I mean, it's not all that different from other specials that we've gotten that just give you non-pierceable DR and then give you true damage based on whatever stat they choose. Okay, we have Blue Skies once again. Justice Enforcer, so she also has a unique beast skill on top of having a unique special there. Actually, wait, is that actually a unique special? Maybe it's not. Hold on. Let me just double check that. Surely it has to be, right? Celestial Form? This doesn't seem inherent. I mean, it's not like crazy powerful, though. I actually would not be surprised if this is inheritable, but I'm not sure that it is. We'll check on Twitter afterwards to see like what the new passives are. So her B skill here, if defending in Aether Raids or during Dark or Chaos Season, after combat for unit or allies on the map, destroys the foe's safety fence offense structure. Oh, so she has that too. Both of them destroy the safety fence. Wow. So you don't need to worry about running Hoder on Dark Season. You could just run Baldr on Dark Season and then run Hoder on Anima Season, pretty much. Alright, also, at the start of turn, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts exposure on the closest foes and foes in 2 spaces of those foes through the next action. Alright, very easy exposure there. And then at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts all or attack speed and defense -5 on the foe. Unit deals +Y damage, where a max of 15 and excluding on AoEs. Y is the number of foes in 3 rows of 3 columns centered on unit ×5. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 7 and neutralize, or full-on no follow-up, basically. And also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, if decreasing the speed difference necessary to make a follow-up attack by 25 would allow a unit to trigger a follow-up, then you get Potent. And then during combat, if exposure is on the foe, then it's X is 100 for Potent follow instead of X is 40. Wow. So she just gets 3. She's going to be a pretty good unit with the Erica Ring then, because she could just hit 5 times and we're not suffering a decrease on damage from Potent follow there. Alright, then she also has Attack and Speed Hold Guide. Pretty good. Hold Guide is really strong. It's basically just like a super rain skill, and then it also gives you warping and allows your unit to warp. So here she is up against Lynn. And obviously she's tanking really well because she had, what did she have? Like a stupid amount of non-pierceable DR twice on her weapon. It's like 50% of her speed twice if they proc a special and once on regular attacks. And that's if she's not fighting a blue opponent. So good luck trying to take her out with a non-blue unit, pretty much. Yeah, defense is going to be really interesting with this book, because considering we just got 2 units on this banner that destroy the safety fence, and then we have units like Valley and who's the other one? Heimdallr coming up, where Valley is just like an infinite miracle unit, and then Heimdallr literally negates the first round of combat. Defense is looking real interesting here. Wow. Okay, dude. I'll take it. Whenever they decide to throw a bone to defense, I will take it. Because we're like fighting for scraps over here. Defense never gets anything. So this is going to be our banner. Okay, so on red we have Baldr, we've got Elm, and we've got Legendary Ira. Wow, that's a pretty good red pool. Alright, then on blue we have Hoder, we got Nubaba, and then we have Athos. Not quite as good. Athos was cool because he was the only unit that had the reinforcement slot, but he's nowhere near as good as Hoder is. So, old man literally just got replaced, unfortunately. Okay, then on green, we've got Legendary Male Robin, Haythrun, and Legendary Male Corrin. Not really a good pool. And then on colorless, we have Goto, Legendary Male Alir, and then also Rune. So pretty much red is the best color by a lot. And then, I mean, blue is okay. Obviously, you're going to want to get Hoder. I would say actually snipe red and then spark blue. So you don't have to get copies of Nubaba and Athos. Just spark Hoder once you get to your 40 out of 40. Assuming you got the Fey Pass anyway. But yeah, both of these units seem really good. They're definitely going to shake up the defense meta, and man, I guess this is doubly good for me because now the defense I was going to show off tomorrow is going to look a lot better when we can add Hoder and Baldr to it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Before we hop out of here, let's actually go ahead and take a look at the inheritances for the new passives. Okay, so they have posted them. And wow, Celestial Form is inheritable, like I thought, kinda. So it's for flying and melee only. Yeah, flying and melee only. Sword, lance, axe, beast, and dragon. Huh, flyer only is a little bit steep. How many melee flyers actually want this? But it's really good, though. So I can imagine it. And then the rest is stuff we already know, because like Hold Guide existed, Mastery existed, Discord existed. So yeah, very interesting, very intriguing special there. Can't wait to check that out. So that's going to wrap us up for this one, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.